What's up, everyone? Welcome to another UFC Quick Picks here on the Mayo Media Network. We have UFC Saudi Arabia this weekend, early morning start time, 11 fights on the card. Whittaker versus Aliskerov in the main event should be a good event. I am here to give you my favorite cash game play, tournament play, salary play, and a matchup I like on the DraftKings slate. Before I do, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and once again, let me know your favorite underdog. I love asking that question. There's plenty of viable underdogs this week. Being on the correct one is definitely going to help separate you from the field, so always curious to hear what y'all have to say. Without further ado, let's get into my cash game play of the week. It's going to be Shara Magomedov at 8.8K. All right, cash games this week is a little bit difficult only because the strength of the 8K range it's abnormally strong, and the 9K range is very strong as well. We still have a clear value here in Shara Magomedov at 8.8K, who should be the priority in your lineups. He was originally supposed to fight a newcomer pulled out. He's getting another newcomer here, but he went from minus 250 to win to he's now pushing minus 700 to win, depending on where you look, against Antonio Tricoli. Magomedov is a striking specialist, does have some ground game concerns, but very strong pedigree striker and looked incredible on the feet in his UFC debut. Now fighting an opponent who does have some ground skills, but has fought a couple times since 2018. There's not a lot of data on him. He's going to be very big, his opponent Tricoli, but doesn't seem to have the same skills. I guess we'll get a better profile on him once he debuts in the UFC, but Magomedov is a clear value at 8.8K, very likely to win. The biggest favorite on this card by far should probably be priced at 9.5K just based on that money line. Going to have a very strong inside distance line as well. He should be a cash game priority this week. Next up, my tournament play of the week. I'm going to the very top of the board here with Aliskerov at 9.3K. I do think he will be popular, but on an 11 fight slate, you're going to get a lot of popular fighters. Magomedov is going to be the most popular at 8.8K. Sergey Pavlovich is going to get a ton of ownership at 8.7K. Fakhretdinov is going to get a lot of exposure at 9.2K. And so Aliskerov at 9.3K, he may be popular. I'm just not sure he's going to be ultra chalky compared to other fighters. It depends on how willing people are to pay all the way down. But I quite like him because of his chances to win this fight inside the distance and early against Brinson Ribeiro. Ribeiro is mostly a kill or be killed fighter. Targeted against him in his UFC debut, he got knocked out in the first round. He's tall, he's long, he can throw pretty aggressively, can also grapple a little bit, but unless he's winning very quickly, he tends to get hurt and finished. Aliskerov making his UFC debut, a pretty well-rounded prospect from Dagestan. Good wrestler, good grappler, and a very strong striker. Put up a bunch of points, would-be points, on his Contender Series fight, where he won by decision, landed 6 takedowns, 73 significant strikes. Looked pretty good there against Jose Medina. I just think Brinson Ribeiro is either going to have to knock Aliskerov out very quickly, or he's probably going to get beaten up and finished himself. And because people are going to prioritize Magomedov, and they're going to prioritize Pavlovich, and they might even prioritize Fakhretdinov, I do like paying up to the top for Aliskerov at 9.3K. He's got a minus 300 inside the distance line, multiple paths to victory, and assuming that path to victory comes early, I think he has a chance to contend for the optimal lineup. Ideally, I'd like him to grapple, but he can get the job done on the feet as well. Very strong, high upside tournament play there at 9.3K. All right, next up, my salary play of the week. I'm going to drop down to Daniel Rodriguez at 7.3K against Kelvin Gastelum. There's a lot of live underdogs in the upper 7Ks, and I'll be targeting that as well. But I think Rodriguez has a pretty decent chance to win as a big underdog, as a plus 200 underdog against Kelvin Gastelum here. As long as he shows up in form, he's coming off a recent knockout loss. Maybe he's just not there anymore. Maybe he's just here for a check. Maybe he can't take a punch. Maybe Gastelum tries to wrestle. I mean, there are ways for this to go wrong for sure, but Gastelum he's already off weight again. They had to move the weight class because he was too big. It's been a constant issue with him throughout his career. Doesn't produce a lot of offense, doesn't even average one takedown per 15 minutes. He's landed more than one takedown once in a fight since 2015. He doesn't really wrestle very often, so it's hard to be certain he's going to easily out-wrestle Daniel Rodriguez. He also only lands 3.5 strikes per minute. Daniel Rodriguez is landing 7.3 strikes per minute. Kelvin Gastelum has gone multiple 5-round decisions where he's landed 89, 91, 62 significant strikes. He just doesn't throw a lot of punches. Daniel Rodriguez throws a lot of strikes. Daniel Rodriguez has gone 3 rounds, landed 175, 108, 129, 120. If this fight plays out on the feet for any length of time, Rodriguez is going to throw a good amount of volume, and he will be competitive with Kelvin Gastelum, if not beating him outright. I still don't think that guarantees him a win, and I don't think Rodriguez's chances of winning inside the distance are that great. He's plus 700, so he's maybe more of a floor-based salary saver than someone who I'm like so excited about his ceiling. But you got to pay down sometime. Of course, I will make mid-range constructions as well, but when you're dropping below Alexander Volkov, there's just not many options. You have the pure punts and Ribeiro and Trocoli, and then you have some more with equity viable salary plays in Rodriguez, Gordon, and Dalby. I think Daniel Rodriguez can win this fight at distance given his volume, assuming he can take a punch or two, and he's my preferred paydown play there at 7.3K. All right, and finally, my matchup of the week, it is going to be Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov. Pavlovich is the favorite at minus 230. Volkov plus 175 on DraftKings. Pavlovich 8.7K, Volkov 7.5K. Pavlovich just goes balls to the wall early. All of his fights have ended in round 1, win or lose, at least in the UFC, and that's spanned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He has 2 first-round KO losses. The other 6 are first-round KO wins. 114, 144, 131, 109, 109, 107 in his wins. Absolutely smashing. And if Pavlovich wins this fight, I think it's by early KO. He's minus 170 to win inside the distance, 8.7K. Great upside target there. I do like Volkov, though, at 7.5K. I think Volkov has early knockout upside as well. He's a very big striker, and he's got superior cardio and volume and grappling to Pavlovich, so I think he has multiple paths to victory. Pavlovich just doesn't fight into the second round. Volkov can go 5 rounds. I mean, Volkov's gone 5 rounds multiple times. And his only knockout loss in the UFC was a literal last-minute KO against Derek Lewis in 2018 in a fight he was dominating. So it's not like he has this long history of getting hurt either. I do think Pavlovich can hurt him, but I also think Volkov can win the fight early, can win via striking over an extended period, or potentially he could grapple. It's hard to project that, but like Volkov has taken down Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis and Fabricio Verdum. Could he go out there and land a takedown on Sergey Pavlovich, who was literally destroyed on the mat in a couple minutes by Alistair Overeem? I think it's possible. Either way, for 7.5K, I think Volkov has pretty clear upside and maybe a leverage target against Pavlovich as well. He is the dog side of my matchup of the week. All right, that's going to do it for this week's UFC Quick Picks. Thank you so much for the support. You can follow me on Twitter, Brett Appley, _T_P. EstablishTheRun.com for all your DraftKings breakdowns needs. Just went a couple hours with my boy Gordo Gambles there, talking over every single fight on the slate. Got full written breakdowns, projections up as well. So thank you guys for the support. Best of luck. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.